should we move to the website?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is where I'm least confident. What are your thoughts?
So this is the hero section of a website is what we're looking at right now. It's what you see immediately when it loads. You've got your first headline, which is Nurturance ABS Consultancy. And then your subheading here is the second part of the hero. It's really your hero statement. Now, I would take the name again and put it next to the logo, make a new logo where the name and the associated font is right next to. I don't think there's anything off the gate wrong with your current logo other than the version of it for the website would make more sense with the name so that you can really dive into just a very short version of your strongest value proposition in the headlines. I think it can get more specific than turn your sales into a powerhouse, but I would say that would be like if you wanted a quick fix, make that your headline. But I want to look at the actual language here. Effortless sales processes for tech innovators. Let us streamline. So I think what is missing here is the unique differentiator of Nurturance. We need that front and center way more than we need the name. The name is attached to the logo. And then we don't want to not say sales. Like I always stress when talking about the differentiated value, we still have to say what the thing is that we're selling. There's something in turn your sales into a powerhouse that I do like. It's just not quite there in terms of what makes Cormac unique, what makes Nurturance unique. This is where the formal messaging and positioning that I do with my clients comes in, because it's basically looking at what are your true differentiators in the market. And that's through a mix of market research and really just digging and finding, like with the founder, what makes you special, especially for a founder company or a consultancy that's based on expertise. It's actually about the people too. I like to call it special magic. Like, what's your special magic? And then figuring out the phrasing to really highlight that. And in a messaging and positioning engagement, the goal is really to centralize the entire company on how to communicate the value of the company and its major selling points in short and concise language. Maybe I ask you right now, what do you think makes you different than other people who would say, turn your sales into a powerhouse?
So I think for us, it's the unique point from our perspective, and maybe the feedback from our clients is actually building a sales step-by-step system where it is like a sports team. It is people having the defined roles and being the best at what they do. And then that churns out a lot more better performance. There's less variability. Everyone is singing from the same hymn sheet.
How do you feel like, do you have a sense of what market norm is versus some of your processes in that regard?
Yeah, I think so. Market norm. So when we go in, usually there isn't the clear measuring for these businesses. They will measure one metric, which tends to be more of a vanity metric, and there's a lot missing. That's it across the team side of things, but they also aren't necessarily targeting the right accounts in the right way, and they're not. When I said multi-threaded earlier, what I mean by that is people will have one or two decision maker stakeholders that are champions within the business are saying yes, but then there's actually another five that are.
I see. I think that's like, there's something there about invisible stakeholders, right? Like you're reaching, and again, we'd want to avoid the jargon, but just for the sake of the quick, easy within our conversation, it's like these B2B buying groups have a lot of people in them. As consultants, we're engaged with, they may be the champion, they're the advocate passing the baton on to someone. You as a, let's say, head of sales may not know who that baton is being passed to. Sometimes clients are transparent about that, sometimes not, customers. So you're coming in and you're saying, hey, we have done the market research. We have the data that backs up who is in this buying group. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And making sure that the team understand it as well. There's not that over-reliance on us moving forwards. They say, actually, this is the process that we follow to make sure we've mapped everyone out.
I think like this isn't going to be the right language because messaging is always it's sort of a throw spaghetti at the wall and then refine it process. It's so much fun. But I did get a hit on your message isn't reaching invisible decision makers and then some kind of benefit statement about, like, for the hero section, something like that. Our data, our market research gives you X kind of, and then just place the person in exactly what this is and how it's different in the top.
Okay, so again, not using the overcomplicated words or simplifying it, but then kind of, if I've understood this right, it's explaining it in a way that they already understand instead of like teaching them something new. So when you said about the invisible decision makers, it's like they can imagine that, they understand that.
Exactly. It's taking it into simple language is always, I would say if I have one tip, it's single language, focusing on one idea, one big idea. That is your main statement that everything kind of ladders up to and connects to. That's what makes like effective sales writing.